Senate, particularly the Senate 5% challenge, was higher education. I can't say enough about Randy Gardner's commitment to this area, but Randy has helped us build a, I would say, remarkable higher education proposal. Senator Gardner.
Thank you, President Faber, colleagues, and ladies and gentlemen. 8 years ago, the Ohio Senate led the way on a 2-year tuition freeze and invested more in higher education. At that time, when we announced that, we knew that Ohio's tuition was about 150% of the national average. And at that time, I spoke to that issue as being a higher education tax on Ohio's families and students. But due to hard work by colleges and universities in Ohio and state policies, we are now today, for 4-year public institutions, we are now at just 110% of the national average in terms of tuition. And with this budget, and with the leadership, especially under President Faber's leadership on the 5% challenge, and on freezing tuition for the next 2 years, we know this: taxes are going down for small businesses in Ohio, taxes are going down for individuals in Ohio, and the higher education tax is going down too. With this budget and the Senate challenge, Ohio has a real chance to see its tuition below the national average very soon. And I might say that I asked this question 8 years ago of education leaders and of budget managers: how long will it take for Ohio to be at or below the national average in tuition? How can we become more competitive as a state? And they basically said, don't worry about it, Senator. It's probably too difficult to achieve. It will take at least 20 years and probably more. Well, we have an opportunity very soon, and of course this is in part going to depend on what other states do. Maybe they'll all follow the 5% challenge and the entire nation will join us. But the bottom line is we are much more competitive and much more fair to our families and our students than we've ever been before. But as important as this is, in our subcommittee testimony, we heard from both presidents of universities and from students. In fact, the last day of testimony, Mr. Chairman, we had 2/3 of our testimony came from college students who were concerned about tuition. But yet they were also concerned about quality. We pride ourselves in Ohio in having high-quality education institutions. And so the students said basically this, that, let me just kind of paraphrase: a tuition freeze without more support to ensure quality is no bargain. So it wasn't just about student cost, it was about maintaining services and quality and programs so that they could move their futures forward. So we agreed, and Senate President Faber has said for quite some time, that it's higher education's turn. So we invested more in higher education, so not only can we reduce student costs, but we can also ensure high quality and perhaps enhance, with this investment, higher quality in our institutions of higher education. One additional issue that we're tackling in this budget, which should be exciting for Ohio students. We have this program basically called the 2+2 program. 2 years in a community college, 2 years perhaps to finish a bachelor's degree in a 4-year institution. And there has been some concern that while we have made great strides to making sure that colleges, the 2-year students moving on to 4-year can have those credits moved to their next level of education, that sometimes not all of those credits transfer, or sometimes that associate degree does not get you to the 3rd year of your program at a 4-year institution. So I commend Jack Hershey with the community colleges and Bruce Johnson with the Interuniversity Council of 4-year institutions for working together to find ways where they can enhance that overall experience and reduce student costs. We want to make sure that as students transfer from a college or a community college experience to a 4-year institution, that 2+2 doesn't equal 5. That 2+2 can equal 4, which is better for the taxpayers, and it's certainly better for those students who are seeking a college degree.